My name is Daniel, and if you met me, you would think I had everything. I smiled easily. I helped people. I was the kind of person others described as strong and kind and someone you can always rely on. But there was one thing no one ever said about me. No one ever said they knew me because they didn't. Every morning, I woke up before the sun, not because I loved mornings, but because I feared silence. Silence had a way of bringing memories back. Memories I spent all day trying to bury. I would sit on the edge of my bed, staring at my hands, asking the same question I'd asked for years. How did I become this person? But there was never an answer, only a quiet ache in my chest. To everyone else, my life looked simple. I worked at a small office in the city. I greeted people warmly, cracked small jokes, and stayed late to help others finish their tasks. People trusted me. Some even admired me. "Daniel, you're always so calm," they would say. I would smile, because it was easier than explaining that calmness wasn't peace. It was emptiness. There was a girl once. Her name was Eleni. She had a way of looking at people as if she could see through everything, the lies, the masks, the carefully built walls. And for some reason, she chose to look at me longer than anyone else ever had. "You don't talk about yourself," she told me one evening as we walked home together. "I do," I replied lightly. "No," she said softly. "You talk, but you don't open." I laughed it off like I always did. But that night, her words followed me home. You see, there was a reason I never opened up. A reason buried so deep, I convinced myself it no longer mattered. But it did. It always did. Years ago, before the smiles, before the silence, I was different. I had a younger brother named Samuel. He was everything I wasn't: bright, fearless, full of laughter. The kind of person who could turn the worst day into something beautiful. And he loved me more than anyone ever had. "Daniel, one day we'll leave this place," he used to say, eyes shining with dreams. "We'll go somewhere big, somewhere happy." I believed him, because when Samuel believed something, it felt real. But life has a way of breaking the things you believe in most. It was a rainy afternoon. I remember that clearly. We were crossing the street, laughing about something I can't even remember now. The world felt light, simple, safe. And then everything changed. A car, a scream, silence. I woke up in a hospital. The first thing I noticed was a quiet. Too quiet. The second thing was the absence. "Where's Samuel?" I asked. No one answered me directly. They didn't have to. I saw it in their eyes. After that day, something inside me disappeared. Not all at once. Not in a dramatic, obvious way. Just slowly, quietly, like a candle burning out in a room. No one visits anymore. I blame myself every single day. If I had held his hand tighter, if I had paid more attention, if I had walked faster, if I had just... But there are no ifs that can change the past. Only memories that refuse to fade. That's where my secret life began. During the day, I was a Daniel everyone knew. Kind, strong, reliable. But at night, I became someone else. Someone broken. I would walk through the empty streets for hours, letting the cold air numb the thoughts I couldn't escape. Sometimes I would sit on a bench and talk to him, as if he were still there. "I'm trying, Samuel," I would whisper. "I'm trying to live the life you wanted for us." But it never felt like enough, because deep down I believed something I never said out loud. I didn't deserve to be the one who survived. Years passed like that. Days filled with smiles. Nights filled with silence. A life split in two, and no one noticing. Until Eleni. She didn't push. She didn't demand answers. She simply stayed. And somehow, that was more terrifying than anything else. Because people who stay long enough eventually see everything. One evening, she found me. Not at the office. Not in the places people usually go. But on that quiet bench, where I thought I was alone. "You come here a lot," she said gently. I froze. I wasn't ready for this. "I just like the quiet," I replied. She sat beside me, leaving just enough space between us. "You don't have to lie," she said. Her voice wasn't accusing. It was understanding. And that made it worse. For a long time, neither of us spoke. The city lights flickered in the distance, and the night wrapped around us like a secret. Then, without planning to, I spoke. "I had a brother," I said. The words felt heavy, fragile, like they might break if I said them too loudly. And once I started, I couldn't stop. I told her everything. The laughter, the dreams, the rain, the silence that followed, and the guilt that never left. When I finished, I expected something. Pity, advice, maybe even distance. But she did something I didn't expect. She cried. Not loudly, not dramatically. Just quietly, like someone mourning a loss that wasn't even hers. "I'm so sorry," she whispered. And for the first time in years, I didn't feel alone. "Daniel," she said, looking at me with those same deep, searching eyes. "You're not living. You're surviving." "I don't deserve more than that," I replied. She shook her head. "He wouldn't want this for you." Her words hit harder than anything else. Because she was right. Samuel would have hated this version of me. The quiet, the emptiness, the way I punish myself every day. "But I don't know how to stop," I admitted. "That's okay," she said softly. "You don't have to figure out all at once." "Then how?" She smiled gently. "You start by not doing it alone anymore." That night didn't fix everything. It didn't erase the past or silence the guilt. But it changed something. A small shift, barely noticeable. Like the first light before sunrise. Days slowly became different. Not easier, but lighter. I still miss Samuel. I still thought about that day. But now when the silence came, it didn't feel so empty. Eleni stayed. Not because she had to, but because she chose to. And for the first time, I allowed myself to believe that maybe, just maybe, I wasn't as alone as I thought. One evening, I went back to the bench. The same place where everything had felt so heavy. I sat there, looking up at the sky. "Samuel," I whispered, "I'm still trying." A soft breeze passed by, gentle and warm. And for the first time, it didn't feel like goodbye. It felt like permission. Permission to live. Permission to heal. Permission to be something more than my pain. My name is Daniel, and I still carry my past with me. But it no longer defines me. Because I've learned something I wish I understood sooner. You can have a secret life filled with pain and still find a way to let light in, even if it starts with just one person, sitting beside you in the dark. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more emotional stories. And tell me in the comments, how did this story make you feel?